For project number two, we've decided to make a more rock-inspired track. We've taken influences from artists such as AC/DC, and I'm going to use the Shure SM58. This is a cardioid dynamic microphone, but because it's more rounded off at the head, the sound should hit slightly differently to the Stealth. This will allow us to create a more spacious and louder sound.
For project two, we are going to be doing a rock song, and to mic up the drum kit for this song, we are going to be using two Behringer's C2 Studio pencil condenser microphones. These are going to be the overheads, again the same as project one. For the toms, we will be using four Sennheiser's E604s, again the same. For the hi-hat, we will be using an AKG 414. For the kick drum, we will be using a dynamic mic, which is a Shure PGA 56. For the snare, we will only be recording the top of the snare, which we're going to be using a Shure SM57. Our reference for this project is AC/DC, and for their drum recordings, they used two overheads. They also recorded the top and bottom of their snare, which they used for the top, they used a KM86, and for the under bottom of the snare, they used an SM57. For the toms, they used Shure SM7s. For the kick, they used a U47. And for the hi-hats, they used AKG's 414s or 451s.
This is very similar to Project 2. Project 2, we have decided to use these microphones and this specific equipment because we feel like it will get our best recording for our rock genre song. We've again stuck to the two overheads so we can do our different recording techniques and feel which one is better for our recording, because for Project 1 we could have the Glyn Johns technique is better for that genre, but for this genre we could have the Recorderman technique or the ORTF pair is better for this. So we've decided to carry on with the overhead techniques, as we feel like this will benefit us and make our drum recordings the best they can be. We've also decided to change up a few things with such as our hi-hat microphone, because we feel like we want to kind of use our references to help us and also take what they did in their drum recordings and put it in ours. So we have used a reference to in our song that has helped us and make us develop what we've got.
Project 2 is a rock piece. We've worked on this for the past week and a bit. I'm talking about the bass that's going to be on the tracks. So, rock in general, mid-70s to 80s, Queen, AC/DC, Led Zeppelin, any of those. The popular things that they would use would be precision bass. Mics, a popular one to record bass on the tracks is a Shure SM57 to catch the clean tones for the tracks. I'm replicating that as good as possible, so I'm going to be using my Fender Jazz Bass, which I will mic up to any amps available with a Shure SM57. Now with the amp, I will be putting the clean tones on to match as accurately to the iconic rock songs that you would have heard mid-70s, 80s, and I'm going to be putting that on the track.
So this is just a really quick rig rundown of Slash from Guns N' Roses. So he originally, Slash is known for his incredibly whiny, dirty, high-gain tones, and when he was recording his first album, they had to rent an amp, and they rented a 1978 Marshall Superlead, which was the amp at the time with the kind of most gritty, dirty tone, and that's become sort of connected to Guns N' Roses. I think he then paired that for the recording, at least, with a, I'm going to say 25 watt Greenback, my notes say Greenback speakers, 25 watt Greenback speakers, and I think he changed them later on. He also changed his amp, so he's gone from the Superlead all the way to a Silver Jubilee, which is now what he uses on his recordings. They sound very similar. For us, we're going to have to think about the EQing of things. So we might have to use a graphic EQ, really roll off the low ends, so it's concentrating the high. It's quite a whiny tone, so we need to get the high ends in there, and also we need to look at what we can actually use. So I doubt we're going to have a 1978 Marshall Super Lead hanging around. So we'll have to look at the Kemper, see if we can get a good profile pack, or well, and hopefully the Kemper Cone can do a good job with the 25 greenback speakers. So that's our plan.